Baldur's Gate 3 came out October 6, and if you're not caught up with the story, or if you've never played any of the Baldur's Gate games, I've got you covered. What's up boys and girls, it's your boy Seth, and for this video I'm gonna be briefly covering the entire story of Baldur's Gate up to Baldur's Gate 3. The Baldur's Gate lore is so detailed and rich, and it would take literally hours to break down everything, so this one is gonna be short and to the point. So let's get into it, starting with the origins. Baldur's Gate is a D&D or Dungeons & Dragons game. For those of you who don't know what D&D is, Dungeons & Dragons is the very first commercial RPG. Originally, it was a board game where every person creates a fantasy character, then the Dungeon Master tells a story, and then each player makes decisions on how he wants to go through with it. Sound familiar? That's because every modern RPG is based on this concept. Pretty soon, digital Dungeons & Dragons games started releasing. Games like, of course, Baldur's Gate, who follow the same concept of cooperative adventure. Which brings us to Baldur's Gate 1, starting with the setting. It takes place in the fantasy world of the Forgotten Realms. They contain worlds like the Toril, which contains continents such as Faerûn and Kara-Tur. And in the west of Faerûn is the Sword Coast. A trip through it has always been dangerous, hence the name Sword Coast. Orcs, trolls, hobgoblins, and even worse stuff are said to infest the areas in big numbers. And recently, raiding parties of humanoids as well. This area is littered with ruins of failed dreams, abandoned villages, empty towers and dungeons, as well as the occasional town, city or keep. The biggest city in the Sword Coast is called, you guessed it, Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate is the largest metropolis and city-state on the Sword Coast. It is a crowded city, a commerce hub full of political intrigue, and perhaps the most prosperous and influential city on the west coast of Faerûn. Baldur's Gate is a culturally diverse city. Regardless of race, creed or personal history outside of it, everyone can lead a peaceful life within, kept safe by the Watch and the Flaming Fists mercenary company. Although various thieves' guilds and religious cults call the city home, Baldur's Gate is divided into three main sections. The upper city, home to the wealthiest and fanciest buildings, the lower city, more like a middle-class area where most of the city's trade and commerce went down, and the outer city, a literal cesspool of messed up buildings and shady characters. They were still taxed by the rulers but were kept mostly uncontrolled. Now that we got the place down, let's talk a bit about the time. Baldur's Gate timeline is long and rich, but I'll just stick to the relevant events in the two games. Starting with the Time of Troubles, also known as the Arrival. Taking place during 1358 DR, the Year of Shadows, the Time of Troubles was a period during which the deities of Faerûn were forced to walk the earth in their mortal form. Several major deities died during the Time of Troubles, and a handful of mortals rose to divinity. In that time, the big bad deity quote-unquote dumped the rest among the civilizations of Faerûn. Among the course of months, many deities were either destroyed or incapacitated. One of them, Baal, the deity of murder, saw his death coming, so what did he do? He raped every woman he saw. What an animal. In the year 1368 DR, which is like 1368 AD for us, DR or Dali Rocking here being the method of measuring years. The main character is a young man from the library fortress of Candlekeep. After mercenaries kill his foster father Gorian, he begins his journey along Sword Coast. As he progresses, he finds out that the iron shortage in the nearby mine is a conspiracy caused by an armored figure. This guy not only is the one who killed Gorian, but is also a son of Baal and your half-brother. Because surprise surprise, you are also one of his rape sons, and the whole iron shortage thing is a plan to murder thousands of people and take his father's place as the new deity. At the end, Gorian's ward defeats his half-brother. Pretty grim, huh? Wait till you hear the story of Baldur's Gate 2. This one takes place just a few months after the first one. The main character wakes up being experimented upon by an elven mage, along with other members of your party from Baldur's Gate 1. Some of you escaped, but need a huge sum of cash to save Imoen, the friend that got left behind. A sum you collect by adventuring through Athkatla and the surrounding lands. The trip takes them to a small island where they are betrayed, taken prisoner, and ultimately have their souls taken by a vampire called Bodhi. After a long and tough fight fighting elven mages and armies, the primary antagonist, the mage Rennicus, gets dragged down to hell and finally defeated. Now for the expansion pack and also the final installment in the Baldur's Gate original series, remember the Baal spawn, meant to resurrect their father by murdering thousands? Well, they got out of control and 5 of them became living murder legends. Your mission is simple enough. Progress through the quests and fulfill your goal of killing all of them. Once you do that, one of 2 things can happen. 1. You ascend the throne and become the next deity of murder, or destroy it and keep living as a mortal. The decision here is based on how good or evil you've been through the story. And that's about it for both games from a very macro view and a general perspective. Baldur's Gate 3, on the other hand, does not follow directly after these events but rather 100 years later. An ancient evil race of mind flayers, which are tentacle things that put stuff in your head, has returned to Baldur's Gate, and you and your party can overcome it together. Either embrace the dark powers or fight them and be rid of them for good. And in the meantime, check out my stream at SethNerd and watch me slay some tentacly things. And if you like the video, drop a like and subscribe to get more content from your boy Seth. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time folks, stay safe. Peace!